Good afternoon. I'm Scott Solembrino at Chicago's McCormick Place, coming to you live from the GBTA convention. Joining me today is Mick Lee from Bny Mellon. Mick, thanks for being here today.
Thanks for the opportunity.
Why is it important for companies to support the mission of Win It that you have worked so hard to develop?
Well, I think what's interesting is when we first started the conversation about Win It and first started joining the colleagues together across the industry back in 2014, women leadership and empowerment was not a conversation that was regularly out there in the marketplace. Fast forward now 5-6 years later, thankfully it is, with Me Too and a lot of other movements across the board. There's one thing that's remained the same, and that is that Win It is really focused on travel-related industries. And the mission of Win It, which is the advancement, the mobility, the visibility of women in those industries, remains unique to the marketplace. So while there are a lot of amazing women leadership programs and organizations out there, Win It is the only one that is focused on business-related, business travel-related organizations. And if you're going to invest your time and your money in an organization, you want it to be related in the industry that you serve.
What do you think the biggest opportunity is right now to drive real change in the industry?
I think that there was an Accenture report that came out about a year or so ago, and it highlighted 3 things that really resonated to me with what's really important. One is the executive engagement and making sure that whatever it is that you're doing is led at the top. And when I say executive engagement, it isn't creating some program and then putting it on a shelf and leaving it. It's about really having an assertive and aggressive and continual engagement. The second piece is around measurements. And what, you know the old saying, what doesn't get measured doesn't get done. And I'm not talking about having a quota. I think it's on all kinds of levels. It's around recruitment, it's around retention, it's around making sure that women of all levels are truly engaged and see a path to their future. And the third piece is empowerment, right? I think that one of the most important and powerful things that has been a part of what Win It does is you leave your business card at the door. It doesn't matter what your title says, it doesn't matter what level you are. If you are a person that's part of an organization, whether you're a woman or a man, you have an opportunity, and if you're a man, you have a responsibility to get engaged and get involved.
What 2 pieces of advice would you give women today in the workplace for advancement?
Well, I think the most important thing is, and self-serving as it is, I'm going to say it because I authentically believe it, get involved and win it. I think one of the most powerful programs that we have was created by Don Rapoli, who leads the organization, and that's the mentor program. It's a way that you can give back to the community, and it's a way that you can really advance your career by being mentored, regardless. I'm a mentor and a mentee at Win It, regardless of where you are in your journey. And the second piece is, own your career. Don't sit back and wait and think that someone else is going to take care of that for you. And again, I'll go back to what I'd said earlier around the criticality of making sure that you are in charge of who you are and where you are in your path, and not wait for someone else in order to get there. But take ownership and be an active contributor to your own success.
As one of the most successful women in this sector, what do you think the biggest contribution to your success was in your career?
Well, thank you. I wouldn't consider myself one of the most successful by any stretch. I think that whatever success that I did achieve was really because of 2 things. One is I always surrounded myself by people that are smarter than me, which is not a difficult thing to do. I'm never the smartest person in the room. And I always encourage people to tell me when I needed to course correct and move in a different direction. And the second thing is I surrounded myself by incredible women and men who I wanted to learn from throughout my career. And I didn't wait for them to come and say, hey, I've got an opportunity for you. Excuse me. But I really sought out those relationships to make sure I was always learning.
And with that, I want to thank Mick Lee for joining me today in the studio. And I'm Scott Solembrino, broadcasting live from the GBTA broadcast studio. Thank you very much for tuning in.